All right. So what you see here on the bottom is your Sage 300 construction and real estate solution that's installed in your back office, or perhaps it's hosted by a third party. By harnessing the power of the cloud or the internet, Sage Field Operations is able to read and write job-related information directly from the field via a mobile device. Your users simply need to log into the website to access their job-related information. This solution will empower the back office to schedule job assignments for employees as well as superintendents. The solution will save your office staff time because information captured in Sage Field Operations is being written directly back to your accounting solution, alleviating that manual data entry. We can easily export payroll back to accounting after it's been reviewed, and because time is being accumulated throughout the week, this is going to allow us to process payroll much more quickly. Sage Field Operations will also empower your superintendents or foremen out on the job. In Sage Field Operations, users can create purchase orders, daily field reports, change orders, as well as submit custom forms. Users can also review time and create customer quotes directly from the field. As all of this content is being created, this information is being written directly back to your Sage 300 construction and real estate system. Sage Field Operations can also be used for simply tracking time. With the time entry only license, users can get information regarding their work assignments for that day, and then they can punch in and out as well as submit their weekly time cards. Throughout the presentation, we will be showcasing this tight integration between Sage Field Operations and your 300 construction and real estate. We will also be highlighting the different user roles as well as the features that the solution has to offer today. Before we take a look at Sage Field Operations, we need to understand how it differentiates itself from other solutions. Most other dispatching or scheduling solutions are going to be a bolt-on to your existing accounting database. And what this means is that there's two different databases that are going to need to sync intermittently throughout the day. So as you're transferring data between the mobile database and your Sage database, this could cause latency and potentially cause data integrity issues, and this is not the way that Sage Field Operations works. As other solutions need to sync throughout the day, Sage Field Operations is a true extension of your accounting system out into the field. Sage Field Operations utilizes your Sage 300 database, so there's never any inconsistency between different systems since we're all writing to the same database. As your job information will be updated in real time, so will all of your notes, time submitted, and everything else that's being accumulated in real time in the back office. Sage Field Operations is a browser-based solution that's going to offer responsive design. Today we will be operating from my laptop, much like how an office user would be accessing the solution. I will be taking a few moments to emulate what it would look like for your users out on the field using a tablet or, say, an iPhone. Depending on how you access this site, Sage Field Operations is smart enough to contour the site to the screen real estate available. You can see here that when we're accessing it from a tablet or an iPad, the site's going to look similar to how I'm accessing it from my computer today. However, if you're using the solution from a phone, the responsive design changes the site to be efficiently accessed using the scrolling with a touch-enabled interface, much like the button options you see on the right side of your screen here. We will also be taking a look at different time tracking options within the system. With regards to time entry, we're going to be looking at two different options. We can go with either the punch action, which will give us the most level of detail, or the standard time entry. Using the punch actions, each user will punch in when they start and punch out when they're completed. It will also empower us to track information such as lunchtime, break time, travel time, and even suspended time. The second option is your standard entry time, which will basically let you enter in a certain number of hours for a certain number of hours worked, whether that be for a job or work order related information. And then we can push that information back to our accounting solution once it's had a chance to be approved in Sage Field Operations. We also have the ability for one person to submit time for multiple people, which would empower a superintendent to track time for their entire crew. As all of this information is being seen by the back office, they can feel free to schedule employees as they finish up their assignments. Sage Field Operations will provide all the tools that your field employees need to be successful. Superintendents can easily enter their time and quotes from Sage Field Operations. We can also load in custom forms that may substitute the documents you guys are currently using out on the job. We can enable custom signature that can be captured directly from a mobile device out in the field with Sage Field Operations. We also have the ability to see job history details, so we can see what was going on for a particular segment of the job as long as it's in our current accounting system. Sage Field Operations does also support the ability to create a purchase order as well as a PO credit. And all of these options are going to be user specific, which empowers you to decide who has the ability to do what within the software. And with that introduction, let's go ahead and jump on into the solution here today. What you see here is the job board here, where we can go ahead and schedule out different employees for their different work assignments. I will be assuming a couple different user roles today. What I'm looking at right now would typically be what the office user is going to be seeing. So they'll be able to see information as to when people finish their job assignments and other information regarding the job. From here, we could easily schedule out something onto our own work list here. So from this job lookup here on the left-hand side, if we wanted to look up an additional job, say we have the Fort Wayne job, we could go ahead and click that. And that's going to add that down to our list of jobs here, along with all of the applicable cost codes for that particular job, also providing us with the estimated hours as well as the actual hours and that variance to date. If I wanted to go ahead and schedule something for myself today, I could simply grab it right here from the cost codes on the left-hand side to my assignment right here. And so what I just did is scheduled a second job assignment for myself here on today, which is Monday the 8th. From here, you'll notice I'm currently looking at this schedule from 2 weeks out. If we just wanted to see the particular assignments for today, we can sort this list a bit further. So we can now see that I have 2 different blocks scheduled for myself, as well as you can see some here that have also been scheduled out for today. If we wanted to expand that time, we could easily do so by drag and dropping that assignment to making that for a 4-hour time slot instead of 2. From the upper right-hand corner, we can slice and dice the timeline a bit further. We can see just what's going on for this particular week. I showed you guys that 2 weeks view, but we also have the ability to look out for a month. So whether you need to take into account, holidays or paid time off, we can use the month type view to schedule those type things out as well. We also have an alternate day view, which will be more like an Outlook calendar type view, where we can view all of our job assignments here as well, and we can schedule everything all the same. If I jump back out to the 2 weeks view here today, which I'll do here in just a moment, you'll be able to see everything that has been scheduled out for those next 2 weeks. You will notice that we have some visual indicators here. Some of these items are going to be wrapped around in yellow or wrapped around in green. That's all going to call back to the severity of the particular job assignment. And then you'll notice that also on the inside of these, some of these are white, some are green, and some are red there. White's going to indicate that that is open, so no one has started that assignment yet. We have purple that will indicate travel time. Green is going to consider working time, and the red is going to be suspended time, calling back to those punch actions that your employees have entered into that. From this screen here, we can also categorize our different employees. I'm currently looking at all of the employees available right now, but we can pare this list down further. So whether you want to sort up dispatch groups such as City North or your electrical team, or even if you have a service team, we can sort that up by electrical or installation. You guys can create all of these own groups and create all of those employees within those groups. For example, if I come into the plumbing tab here, we'll be able to see, Ron, he's our plumber. And then we also have a couple subcontractors that handle plumbing and irrigation as well. And you can see that we are empowered to schedule those subcontractors out to jobs as well using our Sage Field Operations tool. From the dropdown, I'll go to just my team members here. And this would be, for example, if you had a superintendent or foreman who had their crew, we could go ahead and schedule them underneath ours. So I do have the ability to clock Andy and Ron in and out. I can also put things on their calendar, those type things. So this is a great view for the office staff to schedule out and see what's going on. But we'll switch over to the technician view here today, or the foreman or superintendent there, and they're typically going to get started on their assignments page. So this is typically where you're going to log into. And keep in mind also that as the administrative user today, I can see lots of different options here. But when your superintendents log in, they're typically going to land on this assignments page here. I will take a moment to emulate what this would look like if we were using a mobile device here, because oftentimes those superintendents are accessing either from a cell phone, like you see here, or a field iPad or a tablet out in the field. So from here, we can pare this down to see just what's going on today. We can collapse those days here, like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can see the severity here on the left-hand side, that green and red. And if you notice here at the very bottom, we will have these assignment priorities calling back to that, so we can see what those colors are indicated for here. From here, we could go ahead and jump on into the job here, which I'll go ahead and do. We're going to go ahead and jump on into this assignment here for today. And then from here, we could jump into our different assignments, and we could go ahead and clock ourselves in and out for today, starting the work or travel time. We'll go ahead and indicate that I am traveling onto the job site here today. And then when we jump back to that job board that I described earlier, you'll notice that now this assignment here is going to indicate it's purple, that I am currently traveling. So some of our customers will have this job board here up on a monitor within the office, and as it refreshes, we'll be able to see exactly where those employees are calling back to those punch actions. So coming back to the job level here, I'm going to go ahead and jump back in, or I'm going to emulate what this would look like on an iPad first. So you can see we have all of our job-related information here. Jumping back to the assignments page where we were just a moment ago, we'll go ahead and rotate this here as well. This is where we were collapsing those different days here. We do also have the ability to toggle a day-week view, which we can go ahead and do, and that's going to show us just those assignments that are listed for today. So jumping into this assignment here that we already clocked in and out of, we'll go ahead and indicate that we did arrive on the site. We could in travel time, or I can go ahead and indicate that, and also that I'm starting my work. As soon as that is updated, it's also going to be updated on the job board here in real time. So coming back to the job board, it'll now indicate that I am currently working on the job. So from here, we can go ahead and jump into the job information. We're first going to jump into our job estimates here, which is pulling directly from your job cost, as well as that information that's in Sage Field Operations. From here, we can see by cost code all of those estimated hours, as well as the hours that we have had completed to date. So giving us those estimates and real-time information as to where we're at with a particular job. From here, we'll go ahead and jump. You can see the different assignments for this for here, and this is where I went ahead and clocked myself in and out. You'll notice that these button options did change now since I am currently working. It'll now empower me to start my lunch, suspend, or complete the work assignment for today. Down here, you can also see those employees that I'm also a supervisor for, just showing that one-to-many relationship on being able to clock in and out multiple people. Ron is on the job site now, so we'll go ahead and begin him working here today. He was traveling to the site. So now everybody here is working for us, including that's mine for later. So yeah, these two are working. So going back to the job board here, you'll notice that suspended time down there, he is now working. All right. So from the left-hand side here, we can add additional assignments for that day, but we'll go ahead and jump into our daily field reports. So from here, if you wanted your superintendents to be able to generate their daily field reports, we could access this menu. Otherwise, we could simply take that option away. From the daily field reports, we'll enter information such as like a subcontractor that was here, weather that was recorded, any visitors on there. And jumping back to the job level, we can actually go ahead and create a new daily field report from right here. I'll go ahead and generate a report here for today. We'll just leave all of this as there. We'll indicate this is 4.8 for today's date. We'll go ahead and generate the daily field report here today. All right, so now we're back to that same screen we were at just a moment ago, but this is our new daily field report here. If we wanted to go ahead and start filling this out, we can go ahead and do so. If we wanted to indicate that a subcontractor was on the job here today, we can go ahead and add that here. We had Beaverton Sand and Gravel come out here today. They had 2 foremen that were out here for an hour. They had 2 journeymen as well out here for an hour as well. We can indicate notes here as well. They walked to the job site or walled the job site. And we also have the ability to do a talk to text option here as well. So if you were using a mobile device that had a microphone enabled, we can enter talk to text into all of these notes and description fields here as well. We'll go ahead and save that this subcontractor was here on the job here today. Okay. We can indicate any weather. This is calling back to your project management, calling to the location where the job was set up. So for this particular job, it's pulling in that information, such as the temperature, precipitation, and whatnot. Again, we could include the talk to text to fill in the notes here. Go ahead and save that weather to the daily field report here today. If we had any events that happened today, we could go ahead and add those as well. For example, if we had a safety violation or an accident, we could indicate that here. Let's say it was about 8:45 when that happened. And we can indicate the employee. You know, it was myself today. We had an accident. Go ahead and indicate that was Ka'a who was involved. We can include the date that was. It was today. And then Kahu fell, but he got back up. Go ahead and save that event to the daily field report. If we had any visitors on the site, we could include that as well. If we used any equipment today, we can indicate that here as well. I did use an AC scraper here today. Use scraper, we indicate the number of hours that was there, if there was any idle time on that, and any of this other information as well. Save that equipment to the daily field report. Any materials that were included, as well as extras, we can include all of that here as well. So it may be part of your process to include attachments on the job here. We can also load in custom forms at this point in the process to be filled out here and attached to that daily field report. But it may be part of your process to include a job photo, which we can either take directly from your mobile device, or in the case that I'm on my laptop here, we can select that from a file. We'll go ahead and include that here. And this is our job photo before. And we're going to dig a hole. And for this particular job site, it is, or this particular attachment, it is an image. So we'll go ahead and upload that. Now, if you were digging a hole on a job site and you were going to take a before and after picture of that, that would be a great way to capture what happened there on the job. We do also have the ability to sketch up photos. So you could come in here, we can go ahead and pull this in, dug a hole. And then we'll go ahead and indicate that job photo that we had uploaded just a moment ago, which we have right here. We can use our pen here, and I'll go ahead and indicate a color here. Say, dug a hole. And then go ahead and save that. From here, we can email this out. We can either email this to, say, our superintendent or the project manager, or if in an off case, we could send this directly to the customer as well. We'll go ahead and save this sketch here. And it's going to create an appended version of that photo that I had uploaded just a moment ago, and it's going to include that to the daily field report. So coming under the attachment section here, you'll be able to see that photo I uploaded as well as the appended copy. And when I open that appended copy, you'll notice we get this nice PDF here that's immediately available, showing the hole that we dug and and everything else here. Once we've completed the daily field report, under the Reports tab, we can go ahead and generate that. You can see I also have a job site safety meeting form attached here that we could go ahead and fill out. But we'll go ahead and create the daily field report here today. From here, it's going to pull in all of that information regarding the different job assignments, that time worked, our weather conditions, as any events that happened. We do have the ability to remove some of these from the report, so I could remove the weather site conditions if we didn't want to track that for that particular day or for whatever reason. And then we do have all of this other information down here. So for example, we did have the event, so I can go ahead and show that event there, and that'll add that to the daily field report as well. We can capture signatures down here either from the customer, the project manager, or your supervisor. We can email those directly from the customer right here. I'll go ahead and include some signature right here for customer. And then we can put in our project manager signature right here, as well as if we had a supervisor on the site. We'll go ahead and agree here, and it'll allow us to send those attachments along with the daily field report. If we were going to email this along, it would include these as attachments as well. Go ahead and continue. And that's going to create that daily field report for us. So in just a moment, it'll kick us back out to the daily field report. If we jump back up to the job level here, the 03001, under the attachment section down here below, we will be able to see that daily field report. Or no, it's actually going to be under field reports here. We have the one we created here just a moment ago, and all of this will be available in the back office as well. A couple other things I wanted to highlight with regards to the Sage Field Operations solution are going to be our time entry. So I'll jump back to the desktop view here. And so from our office staff view here, if we came under our tools option, we have the ability to see our time summary as well as time review. I'll first show the time summary, which is going to show my time that's been accumulating throughout the week, as well as those employees that I am a supervisor for, such as Andy or Ron. And then coming into the times review, this is going to be where we actually review and approve the different time cards here. So we can see per user, we can see all of the different assignments they've had over the last week or so. We can see if they've gone ahead and submitted that. And if not, we can poke them and ask why they haven't submitted their time card. From here, we can go ahead and set up different levels of approvers. We do currently support 3 levels of approval. So for example, if you needed to have a supervisor as well as a superintendent approve on time, and then say it goes on to the owner to approve that time, we can facilitate that workflow no problem. Once everything here has been completed, we'll go ahead and export that data and send that into your payroll in your 300 construction and real estate. Again, I wanted to thank everyone for your time today, and I hope everyone has a good rest of your week. Bye-bye.